gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
So Tanahashi is starting his retirement off with a bang by selling high-energy exercises for women's beautiful bodybuilding on DVD. So he's doing like these Tony Little style beach workouts or whatever. You guys remember Tony Little? You guys remember him? Oh, dude, he had those tapes. He had those workout VHSs or whatever. That's funny.
逆も左足に体重をかけながら左を大きく伸ばします。この時に左の体側がしっかり伸びるように。
So there you go, man. Crushing it. Selling DVDs still popular in Japan, or is this a rib on me? Saya Supremacy. Shout out Saya Supremacy for that. Speaking of Nuge, Tokyo Sports posts that or Wrestle Purist posts via Tokyo Sports. Huge congratulations to Shingo Takagi and Natsupoi, who are now married. Congratulations to the married couple. What else do we got? So in other indie / global pro wrestling news, Ivelisse Velez attacks WWE ID Women's Champion Laney Luck at the HOC ID showcase. So many I can't think of it, goddammit. So many like letter combinations. It's not an anagram. That's not what I'm thinking of.
An absolute battle. Erica Demia, the challenger, pushed Laney Luck to the limit here tonight, but showing why she is the WWE ID Women's Champion. Well done by Laney Luck. It's been an awesome first half here so far, Simon, of this ID showcase. Thanks again to House of Champions for hosting us here. And, wait, what the hell? That's Ivelisse! That's Ivelisse! Ivelisse! In 24 hours is going to challenge for the WWE ID Women's Championship at Shine 85.
So good for Ivelisse getting in the mix there and helping get some younger talent over and stuff like that. It's a good position for her. Speaking of the younger talent in WWE ID and tryouts, so Starboy Charlie was invited for a WWE tryout. This kid's awesome, and I really hope they sign him up. A lot of people, he's like Matt Riddle 2.0, but just kind of cooler, and is like the opposite. He's not like a mark for himself like Matt Riddle kind of seems to be. Nor Phoenix Diana will be having a WWE tryout, and she wrestled Mercedes Monea, and she was in the crowd sitting front row at NXT last night as well. So it seems like they are very interested in her. She's the lady who cut a better promo than Mercedes leading up to their ACW title match or whatever it was, AIW. It probably wasn't either of those, but whatever. WWE invited LSU star gymnast KJ Johnson for an official tryout in Orlando. So again, NIL doing their thing. WWE just developing so much talent. It's so good to see. And I'm going to butcher this, but Budo Sento and Combat Global fighter Regina Terran has been invited for a WWE tryout. She's 7-0 with 6 finishes. She's a Mexican phenom, 21 years old. And again, you have a shooter. If she's into pro wrestling, Lola Vice was a great scoop up. I'm unfamiliar with this gal here, so good for her. We also have Jimmy House, pro wrestler and coach Jimmy. He's a pro wrestler and a strength conditioning coach or whatever. Thank you for this incredible opportunity. WWE, tomorrow I get to live out my dream for 5 days in Orlando at the PC. To all of you who have been so kind to support me relentlessly, etc. Here he is. He's a super jacked bodybuilder, low body fat guy, and he gets to go try out for WWE. And maybe he's got something there, maybe he doesn't. Tyler Jordan says 2026 will be the best year of not just my career, but my life. Honored and blessed to receive this opportunity. WWE recruit. And here's him just in a dingy basement. He's like he's like Clubber Lang, dude. Right? He's just working out in the fucking basement while Rocky's fucking in there in his mansion and all this shit, working out with all the photographers. You got Clubber Lang just grinding away in the basement, getting ready for his shit. That's it for that. In other indie news, we have some appearances and whatnot. And so just announced Glasgow's own Mark Coffey will arrive in MLW. He enters Battle Riot. So at this year's Battle Riot, Mark Coffey will be there. Battle Riot rules. Joey Janela posted this. A lot of people are asking with WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia, where's Joey Janela going in 2027? Well, I'll tell you, I'm going on vacation to the Mexican Riviera. Expedia Cruises, CCW, and Norwegian Cruise Lines present Joey Janela's Boat Bash. So now he's doing the indie Boat Bash because Jericho 100% is going to be doing... He'll do his boat, but like Fanatics will team with him and shit. And if not that, like it'll feature the AAA, NXT, TNA and shit. So Joey jumping on a great opportunity. I'm not even going to hate on this, really. It's actually a smart move on his behalf. With the live pro wrestling and destination spots, Puerto Vallarta, Cabo San Lucas, and Mazatlan. These shows will have the best lucha libre in the world, presented by Gringo Loco OG and classic Joey Janela. Big time meet and greets on the boat, lobster dinners, gambling, and debauchery for 7 days. Whirly bird tickets available. So there you go, dude. Joey Janela's Boat Bash. Oh my God. Oh, crazy. It's kind of funny, right? Chris Jericho gonna sue somebody, as Chris Rock would say. So in other indie and this is and that's news, Shotzi will make her NWA debut in 2 weeks against Natalia Markova.
Ballsy Badass makes her NWA debut. And what a wild debut it would be if I snatch that championship off of Natalia Markova. Now that's wild. And that is exactly what I do. The wild one spreads her wild thing all over the place.
Yeah, Shotzi's crushing it on the fucking indies and just everywhere she's going and everything she's doing. She left WWE and has just been full steam ahead, which is good to see. So here is Billy Gunn in a hot chocolate commercial for some reason. And I just thought I'd...
Greetings, Stacy. Hey. Hello. Hablamos en el idioma del español, ¿no? Y los ojos.
I want to drink your bath water.
Wow.
So Billy Gunn just shows up and flexes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Stacy, focus. Yeah. Here.
And that's why I don't eat shellfish.
Hi.
Hi.
So yeah, it's like the speed dating bit from 40-Year-Old Virgin where Kimberly Page's titty falls out of her shirt while she's speed dating. You know, it's like all these, it's like the reverse of that in a way. So shout out Billy Gunn in a hot chocolate commercial, bro. So the UFC, Dana White had this announcement, and it directly pertains to TKO and WWE and NXT in a way, but I put it in Miss News because it more affects UFC. But the next time NXT or TNA does a show out of the Apex, it is now called the Meta Apex.
What's up, everybody? Happy 2026. So as we go into the new year, the home of the Contender Series, the home of some fight nights, the home of Zuffa Boxing, UFC BJJ will now be called the Meta Apex. We've done a 5-year deal with Meta. So welcome to the new Meta Apex. What's up?
Yeah, that fucking sucks. It is what it is. I mean, all these arenas and all these buildings have fucking names, but like, what are they getting paid to do this? That's all it is, you know? And like the Meta Apex, and it's like, fuck, they're gonna just do more Apex shows, aren't they? UFC's just been phoning it in. And it's funny because MMA fans will come together and agree UFC's the tippy top of MMA. UFC is the tippy top. Maybe there's like some 1FC and JMMA fans, and there's some like Bellator, PFL fans or whatever. Bellator is no longer around, but Sure, there's fans of these other promotions and shit like that, and maybe the way they do things, but it's undeniable, like, the best fighters and the best everything production is the UFC, the cream of the crop with everything. But they just, because of that, they just completely phone in the marketing now. And UFC fans are kind of pissed off about it, but they're not all sitting there pretending that, like, PFL is better. And they don't give a fuck because they just draw. Like, people think WWE's bad. Dude, UFC doesn't give a fuck. And they sell their tickets for so much. They just continue to draw. And they've had ticket sale trouble as well, where Dana, like, will, everyone does it. They paper the house a little bit. And, like, everybody's making fun of Dana lately for just not giving a fuck. Like, his fight announcements are just him. He just pulls a Tony Khan. But at least Dana knows, like, here's just a quick 24-second announcement. Like, at least if Tony did it this way, it would come across better. This is a step above tone. But Dana gets criticism for the same thing. He just hops on his phone and goes, oh, this is going down and this is going down and here's the matchups and peace out. And then he just lets everyone else promote it for him, which is, like, not a good look. And there's definitely ways UFC can step shit up, and how the TKO merger, people want to shit on WWE. I don't know. They've done way cooler shit with WWE since the TKO merger than UFC's done with UFC. That's for goddamn sure. So I don't know. I just wanted to throw that in. It's called the Meta Apex or the Meta Center or whatever. So next time NXT does a show out of there in Vegas, it will be out of the Meta whatever the fuck. Okay. So that's quite interesting. Moving along here, the main story. So Priscilla Kelly, who's been crushing it on the indies as well since leaving WWE, she is excited and she says, I'm going to Israel. And this guy says, huge news from the Israeli wrestling scene as ex-WWE NXT star Hell's favorite PK is making her IPWA debut at Passover Bash. She posts, I'm going to Israel to wrestle. Five minutes later. And then she has to tweet this out. I have made the decision to not travel to Israel for the show that was announced earlier. My intention was never to make a political statement. So what happened? A bunch of sicko redacts made it political? How dare you go to Israel? Just like with Saudi. How dare you go to Saudi? God damn it. Why do people do this? My intention was never to make a political statement. Literally all she tweeted out, I'm going to Israel. So fucking she's getting paid to go see the world. That's why you get into wrestling. You're canceled. I tweeted on my lithium battery powered smartphone that a child in an Asian sweatshop somewhere assembled for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck you guys, man. I fucking can't stand that virtue signaling pussy ass bullshit. Fuck you, Anyways, so Priscilla Kelly goes, my intention was never to make a political statement, but to entertain those who are not tied to horrific humanitarian crisis. I do not want to be a part of this any further or give the idea that I condone the actions of the government. So now if you go and wrestle in a place, you condone their government and shit. Like, no, people are dumb and they're extrapolating they're spending way too much time on Twitter and being propagandized by hacky fucking late night hosts and all these fucking shitty news organizations. God damn it. The world. Wish we could turn back time to the good dope days. Who's with me? Oh, man. I do not want to be a part of this any further or give the idea that I condone the actions of blah, 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 the government in any way. I apologize for any harm this may have caused. Harm? And then she got off of Twitter entirely. She's like, I'm stepping away from X. Where the fuck? Why? I thought I had that film. Bookmarks. It might be in Sickos, though. Let me just see if I have it. Yeah, so here, I accidentally put it in this folder, but she says, due to an influx of violent messages, I'll be taking some time away from social media. Oh my God, people are so fucking This is about safety and well-being, no doubt. So she's legit like, I am getting fucking threatened over this. I need to literally get off social media for a bit. I appreciate the support and understanding. Holy fuck, man. And then the first thing, who is this account? Yeah, the first comment under this is someone going, Israel supporting bitch can piss off. I don't know if I think she was just wrestling at an indie. I don't think she really thought about it that much, dude. That's like crazy, man. It's crazy that always fucking happens. So Jeff Lane had this to say: Priscilla Kelly takes a booking. Internet is terrible to her. She cancels the booking because the internet was terrible to her. And then the internet is still terrible to her. It's not enough for the cancel pigs. So then she deletes her ex account. Just because you disagree with someone doesn't mean you have to be a complete asshole to them. And it's so true. It's just like everyone needs to fuck off entirely with this stuff. Now, if she spent time preaching, like if she was like, I'm against what their government's doing, and then goes there and whatever, and then you want to criticize that for sure, but she just took a wrestling booking. Again, we've covered this. This is like the Saudi Arabia Comedy Festival, the Riyadh Comedy Festival. Some comedians went there and took the money and just said, I took the money. I don't care. I don't know about all this other shit. Other comedians like Bill Burr have literally lost half their audience. His podcast has gone down 50% because every show he's just coping and being like, it was a humanitarian effort, dude. I went down there. If you could see, and because he complains about, dude, all these billionaires, dude. And he made fun of celebrities who went and took money from people who had involvement in whatever. He criticized Beyonce and all this shit. So people are like, you're a hypocrite. That's why people clown CM Punk for his shit. You can't say what you said and then go there and fucking, well, you can. It's not like you can't, but it's like people are going to not take your shit seriously. But it's just in these instances where she took a booking and now people want her to delete herself or want to delete her. It's just so cooked, man. It's so cooked where society's at for realsies. A judge ruled that WBD doesn't need to disclose details of their deal with Netflix and the latest blow to Paramount Skydance per CNBC. And I'm putting this in miscellaneous news now because this shit is all over the place until like it doesn't really quite pertain to just WWE or AEW. It's so funny how the wrestling war, quote unquote, is going on, and then it's like Netflix buying WB, the thing that AEW's on. There's been so many coincidences. I swear we're in like a fucking, this is like a Truman Show type fucking timeline with how all of these things always play out like this. It's Netflix and WB, but it doesn't even have to be about the pro wrestling, but it directly affects the pro wrestling on both sides. It's so funny and awesome for this show. Moving along. Speaking of Cora Jade, her and Mandy Rose were on OF doing OnlyFans Wrestling, OFW, and they had a cage match, bra and panties match. Yeah. It's crazy because this is like the Joshi fucking porno feds or whatever. You guys know what I'm saying? Like there's these things where like there's no crowd. They're just doing moves for OF, for lonely dudes getting sweaty. Is that what this is for? Make sure you check out our OF TV wrestling. And they're in a cage. Like this is some real sicko shit right here. Shout out them for staying sharp and Mandy Rose can still clearly go. Right? What's the over-under on her showing up in TNA? Yeah, I don't know. That's some real fucking OF TV wrestling. I ain't hating on it. Rob Van Dam's got to be pissed. You got to think him and Katie Forbes were already... Didn't they launch like wrestling fans or only wrestlers or whatever? Apartment wrestling? Yeah, whatever that shit is. It's fucking... That's what that is. That's the equivalent of that. I don't care what anyone says. Hate on me all you want, but... Too many motherfucking Simps in the world for that to even exist. So Braun Strowman's Everything on the Menu show has been renewed for a second season after being one of the highest rated shows on cable. You love to hear it. Yeah, so they're bringing him back for this show and WWE's producing it still, and they should bring him back with the Wyatt Six just as their secret monster. He doesn't have to be there every week. He just shows up like the lights go out. Strowman shows up like Sting and helps them in a time of need. And you could work that into their spooky storyline stuff where it's like He's like King Kong. When you need him, he's just there. I don't know. I think that could be cool. No? WWE, well, we'll get into that in a second because we're going to circle back to that, actually. So the veteran Jack Vaughn woke up and chose violence today. Actually, we're talking about TV stuff, so here's just a quick streaming services by share. Shout out Raj Giri by share of TV use. So YouTube 12.9, WBD 1.3. Again, I just show these charts. And then in February 25, 11.6 for YouTube. So it fluctuates a bit, where YouTube will fluctuate like a whole 1.5%. WBD in that fluctuates by like 0.1%. So it's just inconsequential. It's crazy that people pretend AEW does the numbers they do on fucking Max. It's actually insane. So sorry. Speaking of insane, Jack Vaughn chose violence today. So let's go right into this here.
I just have a quick message for the internet wrestling community. Your favorite wrestlers are trash. They are so bad. Most of them aren't even wrestlers. They're gymnasts and kickboxers. They wouldn't even know what professional wrestling is supposed to look like if it dragged its nuts across their faces. Also, your favorite wrestling company is inferior to the wrestling company that you don't like. I just have a quick message for the internet wrestling community. Your favorite wrestler.
Damn, there you go. So shitting on all of us. Shout out Jack Vaughn. He's a good dude. I should get him back on PWT. So Devon Dudley and Jim Ross allegedly will not connect with each other. And I've been saying it, like, these two guys both have pods. They should just do each other's pods. But Devon Dudley saying he won't reconcile with Jim Ross. He says, I'm not interested. I'm sorry. I'm going to cut you off. I'm not interested in any way, shape, or form to put it on video. And he says, this is not content that I think should be on video between two guys who have had an issue, or I should say one guy, because JR says he doesn't seem to have an issue with me, but I had the issue with him and it doesn't need to be videoed. Two men can sit down and talk and iron this out without cameras. I'm not asking for a crowd. I'm not asking for a crowd at all. Honestly, I'm not even really asking for JR to come sit down and talk. He doesn't have to if he wants to. I'd be more than happy to, but he doesn't have to. I'm not looking to gain YouTube subscribers or views or anything like that. We can tell by the fucking views on this show. The thing is, what was said, whether he remembers it or not. Maybe it was God's timing and it all came out, so it could be resolved. I don't know, but I don't have any ill feelings towards him. Again, if he wants to sit down and talk, we can sit down and talk, but I'm not doing it with cameras because nobody else needs to know what me and JR talk about between me and JR. Yeah, but like, well, then why did everyone bring it up on fucking podcasts? Like, this is the problem, Devon. You brought it up on a fucking podcast, and then JR responded to it on a fucking podcast. And then it's like, well, no, we don't need podcasts for this. But it's like, well, JR needs to clear his name publicly. No? And it would be nice, but like, again, I don't blame Devon for saying like, well, let's just do it personally or whatever. But he's just like, I don't even want to do that. I don't even want to do it at all. It is what it is, and it's incredibly unfortunate. It's odd because do you hear any other stories of Jim Ross being like racialist towards people? I'm just trying to think if there's ever been one other one that I can think of. We covered it on the show. Matt Keane was like, oh, I've talked to people who know JR, and they said that he would never do something like that. But it's like, well, how is Devon Dudley? Is he just making it up? I don't think he's just making it up. There had to at least have been a misunderstanding. At the very least, there's a misunderstanding that happened years ago that never got rectified. So hopefully they can come together. But yeah, if they don't do it on cameras, I don't personally care, but I hope we hear that they reach out to each other and like squashed whatever this shit is, and it doesn't get drama farmed. Devon's like, I don't want clicks and shit. But again, you're on a pod. And clearly it's trying to get views, or you wouldn't upload the shit. So don't be saying you don't want fucking views and stuff, because that ain't true either. You wouldn't upload it. You wouldn't do the shit on air. You would just, again, that would have been a text conversation between you and your co-host. So anyways, moving along. speaking of storylines and drama and all of this, Ringside News posts this salacious headline: Vince Russo accused of sending very personal photos to female JCW star. And then people jumped all over Russo, and Jeff Lane was out there being like, hey man, everything's cool. This is just storyline, da-da-da. And he's out there defending Vince Russo. And I'll give Vince Russo credit, like, good on him for living the gimmick, like living the storyline enough to be okay with Ringside News writing some crazy shit like this, knowing that people will just read the headline and not really understand that this is a JCW storyline that's going on and just assume that Russo's some fucking creep. Like, that's pretty gangster of him to do that as far as like keeping kayfabe alive. Because ain't nobody's doing that anymore, you know what I mean? So that's and especially for like how hated of a guy he knows he is, pretty ballsy of him to do that for JCW. But Big Alice Crowley, who she is the showrunner for the women's division of JCW. And she took part in a brief backstage interview during this week's episode of JCW. And she said, well, it's very simple. Russo asked me for some very personal favors in order to get a push. But when he turned that down, he asked me for some very personal photos of myself. But when I turned that down, he decided to send me very personal photos of himself. And when Alice Crowley was asked to show proof of these photos, she looked down at her suitcase and she didn't like what she saw. Oh, shit, that's in my bag. Who did this? And yeah, it's a play, as Ringside News writes here. This is obviously a play on a lot of scandalous legends in pro wrestling history for some people in charge sending inappropriate photos to talent. We'll have to see what happens next. So he's just willing to do this crazy ass shit. Whole episode here, but he's willing to do this crazy ass shit and try and drum up attention and do this like, yeah, I'm a perv, me tooing people and shit, you know, like as part of a wrestling storyline. That's
You what?
Here's the thing. I'll put it over like the ballsiness of it. I'll say maybe it's in poor taste, like that's a passe thing, but as long as he doesn't put her on a leash and have her barking in a thong like fucking Trish Stratus and making out with him for real and all this stuff, I mean, as long as he's not writing her to do like fucked up shit with him on TV like Vince did with like each one of the hottest divas, then I mean, I don't see that much of a problem with it. I got to be honest. It's kind of ballsy for him to do that, and it's getting people talking about JCW. Love it or hate it, Vince Russo, bro. Vince Russo, let me tell you about Juggalo Championship Wrestling. He's getting people talking about JCW. So it's fucked up. I think he's taking shots at Vince McMahon. But also ballsy move to do that when so many people hate him. And you know they're just going to run with that forever and go, look, do you remember when Vince Russo harassed a girl? And then everybody will be like, that was a part of a storyline. It was fake. Like that's going to happen forever. There's always going to be like two sickos who will never fucking let that go. So Fadeaway Media posts this. So this recruit here, Sally Gracie, she quit her WWE tryout. So the girl that quit says she got concussed and then said, you know, everyone was getting concussed like left, right, and center. And it's not that she quit on herself, let's be honest. And I'm not even hating on if she banged her head. That's part of wrestling. Like, that's shitty and that can happen. Dave takes this and spins it into, people were saying that they were getting concussed left, right, and center. Well, she is a person, isn't she, Phil? Like, yeah, dude, that's not what happened, though. This is one person said this. You saw it on social media. Now you're pretending like the inside scoop is people were getting hurt. Dave also said, like, fuck, do we play another flute for his dumbass? He also said that it was the focus on the tryouts were black bodybuilders or whatever. And then you see the photos and it's like, a couple white bodybuilders, Starboy Charlie, and fucking all these girls. A bunch of these girls trying out for fucking WWE at the tryouts. And Dave's like, there's an emphasis on big jacked black dudes. Crazy, man. Anyways, let's listen to what Sally Gracie said.
the first time it's ever happened to me. I've fallen on concrete skateboarding. I was a gymnast my whole life. Like, I've taken slams, but I had to stop running bumps yesterday because I knew my brain, something wasn't right in my brain. Like when you fall on your back. And they kept telling me to do it harder, go harder. And I'm like,
what's crazy is that she's like, and yes, this sort of like brain impact and stuff affects everybody differently. But she's saying that I've skateboarded, taken slams my whole life. But this was like, yo, you might have some shit. You know what's crazy? She might have some shit from before she didn't deal with entirely. And this wrestling, because of the fact you have to just bump. Like you're like a boxer. You're accepting like, I'm just getting CTE. It's what you're doing as a pro wrestler. It's like exacerbated that for her in a tryout. And it's like she might have. It's scary to say, but if she's saying, oh, I've slammed a bunch before, I'm a skateboarder and shit. Yeah, you might have fucking hit your head before or taken back slams that affected your neck and head that you didn't deal with properly in the past. And that's why it affected you so badly in the tryout, which is scary to think about too.
I'm super respectful in the wrestling industry, and I'm a respectful person myself, so I go up to the coach, and it took a lot of nerve. In front of everybody, I went up, I shook his hand, I go, sir, with all due respects. And I don't remember exactly what I said, but it was something like, I got a lot of stuff going on right now, I can't ruin my brain, and I know something's not right in the head. So I had to take the L in that one and step out to protect my noggin. But it was just crazy. Everyone's getting concussed left and right. And
yeah, and her nose is bapped up. Like she looks like she's broken her nose or been punched in the face.
They're saying that there's going to be more happening. I'm obviously facing repercussions right now.
Like, and I'm talking just in her personal life. I don't know what this girl does. Is she a boxer or something? Does it say? I don't know. Yeah, good for her for stepping out and saying, like, I'm protecting my brain health, though. Because, like, wrestling ain't worth that shit. That's for goddamn sure. Not that early on. So let's
quick little update. Yesterday we were doing improv and they told us to pretend swimming. Bro, I think I sound so stupid right now. I got hit in the head because someone was on the metal ropes and was like, we're swinging it and swung it and it hit the back of my head really hard. I can't even keep my train of thought.
Okay, how does she seem more concussed now than at the IHOP?
And I feel stupid because I don't remember what I'm saying. And I forgot who I'm talking to earlier. And this morning I had a headache when I walked into the performance center and I knew something wasn't right.
Was this before the IHOP or after?
And then we started taking bumps for the first time, and I just felt my brain sloshing around, and I'm like, I can't continue this, or else, there will be long-term effects. And then I got tested, and I have a concussion, and my one medic said, all right, now go talk to the first medic that you talked to. And I'm like, first medic, I've only talked to you. And I completely forgot I had a conversation with that dude. I was packed.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Quick little update.
Just crying on the internet for a sympathy thing. I don't know. Was this before or after the IHOP as well? Because in the IHOP, she's like, oh, I'll just take the L. It's all good. And then they're like, you have a concussion. Now it's like, oh, I don't remember. I can't see. I don't know. I don't want to be one of those guys, but I just get that vibe from it. Now I can't remember anything. Who am I? And I have a cold too. I'm sick. It's like, I can't. I have the 1-day flu. I can't make it to work today, Buzz. I hate to be a dick, but that's just the vibes I got from that. Gotta call it like I see it. So here is Becca, world premiere. We love to world premiere music here at PWT. B3ID by Becca Forever, a Laney Luck diss track. Let's go.
Yeah. Damn. It's B3CCA. You know who it is. Get ready, ho. Yeah. They all wanna be me. They all wanna be B3. Trippy, pretty, witty. From the West Coast to New York City. You don't have the motion, you just have a name. Take away the brand, you are hella lame. talk my talk and back it up easily. Yeah, got your girl yelling B3 ID.
Posting on the gram, funny how you're trying to posture. Easy to be champ of a one-woman roster. I'm a real champ, yeah, I'm not an imposter. A mic in my hand, I turn into a monster. Sad you're obsessed with the likes and the clicks. How you still saying turn in 2026? You really are lucky that you have any fans. But your luck will run out when you catch these hands. Yeah, how are you still doing the whip in 2026? And, you know, it's good you don't even try to nay-nay. I'm glad, because I think I would die from the cringe. For real. No cap.
They all wanna be me, yo. They all wanna be B3.
Let's go!
Trippy, York City. You don't have an emotion, you just have a name. Take away the brand, you are hella vain. I talk my talk and back it up easily. Got your girl yelling B3 ID. B3 ID.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was miscellaneous news. How about it? Amazing, amazing stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.